curly.
Of
Geography.
course, I just wash it and it's kind of tight. It loosens up in a couple of days.
Mostly the arts, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Honey, I want to go through.
That's quite all
Go
right.
ahead.
If you got to go,
Go ahead,
Go
hurry
ahead.
up. And, but our home life kind of put the kibosh on that. When I was, well, we went from Cleveland to Jefferson, Ohio, which is about 10 miles south of
And what year was that?
This was, well, let's see, I was born in 1906, about 1916, 17, along in there. Maybe, yeah, 1916 or 17.
And how many siblings did you have?
How many what?
Siblings did you have?
Siblings.
Brothers and sisters?
At that time?
Well, like in your...
Oh, yeah.
You had...
I had one brother that died when he was 9 months old.
And what was his name?
From pneumonia, Eugene.
Eugene. Okay.
And I still pray for him. And I don't remember seeing him.
And he was your older? He was born before you?
Yeah,
Oh, baby
He
brother.
was my younger brother.
Okay, you had an older brother.
No, I had no other.
You had no other brothers.
No. I had that one brother, and he was younger than I, and he died when he was 9 months old from pneumonia.
Hmm.
And I remember racing down the street to get a doctor because he was choking from well, whatever it is. And I was a teenager. I don't know. I was pretty young, maybe 8 or 9 years old. And I was chasing all over East Cleveland to find a doctor for him. And it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. But anyhow, I couldn't get anybody. And then I had 2 sisters, Florence and Gertrude. And that was the whole family.
Are they younger or older than you?
Younger. Florence was 2 years younger than I, and Gertrude was about 8 years younger.
I didn't know she was that much younger.
I hope you guys don't mind eating in our kitchen.
Nope.
And should I go out?
Too loud on
Yeah.
the porch.
Yeah.
But anyhow, Gertrude, no, Florence, I should say first, had a very unfortunate love affair with a guy that kind of left her stranded with a couple little ones, and she was pregnant with another one, and she went berserk and went into she was a judge, not competent to take care of them because I guess she was just emotionally really upset. So,
How old was she when that happened? When she went to the...
how old was she?
Yeah.
I would say she was about 23 or 24.
Pretty young.
Yeah.
Jesus, I thought
very
she
young.
was old.
My mother died when she was in her 50s.
56.
She had the same disease that Lou Gehrig had, nerves, you know. And,
It's called Lou Gehrig's disease, isn't it?
yeah, it's called Lou Gehrig's disease, but she had it before Lou Gehrig.
Oh.
So, I wanted to say, to get back to myself. I did want to learn, and I think I had the ability to learn, and the desire to learn, but my mother and father decided that they couldn't keep up with things, and so I had to go to work, and I was selling newspapers on the streets and working at a rubber factory and old Shannon motor, old Cleveland motor, and did anything that didn't require very much knowledge or skill, and that's the way it turned out. So it wasn't anybody's fault. It just happened that way. But I even now I have a desire to learn. I try to learn everything I can, but for formal education, I don't have it.
Well, So you completed what grade?
I think I was in the second year of high school when my father had a farm down near Jefferson. I went to Jefferson High School and played basketball and football and all that stuff. And oh, it's funny. They had the old trolley cars at that time, and Jefferson was on a little hill. And I can remember when the basketball games were over with, and I'd get over off the bottom of the hill, and I'd pull a trolley off the doggone thing, and the car could go up the hill, you know, for the other people in the car. And I thought that was a good thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
I used to take a streetcar to go to work.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of hard to remember all these things, but I wish that things had been different.
How?
I wish that, I guess if you had enough desire, it doesn't matter how many things get in your way. If your desires are great enough, you can do it. I mean, I should have been able to further my education, even with all these drawbacks. In other words, a lot of other people have these drawbacks, but they do it some way or another.
Did you bring your money home to your family then?
Well,
To help support?
yeah, I tried, yeah, but I had good jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I had real good jobs for a person that didn't have any ability or any trade or anything.
You were only 16 when you were left on your own.
Yeah, but
How old were you?
anyhow,
You were living alone?
Yeah.
At 16?
But anyhow, I worked for an automobile finance company and I made good money. And I approved credits, collections, credits, everything, repossessions, everything in that line. And then I went to New York and stayed at East Orange, which is across the river from New York, you know, in New Jersey there. I stayed there for about 6 months. And it was with National Surety Corporation, which was a $100 million organization, and they guaranteed home loans all over the country. And it was my job to go to different banks and determine whether the taxes were paid on these various properties they were thinking about foreclosing.
Was that your favorite, one of your favorite jobs?
Sometimes, no, it was not. Sometimes we could get a
Okay, show's over.
sometimes we could get a quick claim deed from somebody instead of going through the process of foreclosure and say, hey, you can live in this property for 6 months, just give us a quick claim deed to it. It'll save us money, you can live there rent-free for 6 months. And so I had a lot of experience for a person that didn't have any education.
So your family, you had to move out because your family couldn't afford to keep everybody?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. My father, he was I never was close to him. I couldn't get close to him. Or well, that was probably my fault. He wanted to teach me because he had no education at all. He never went to school. But he...
Honey, it's ready.
I think. Okay, let Dad finish about
But
his father and then we'll cut it.
could build a house from the ground up. He could do the excavating, the concrete work, carpentry, electricity. He could put all the electrical stuff in. He could do everything, and he wanted me to do it.
Come on.
Then my answer, my mother said, "Hey, don't
She
let
didn't want you to get your hands
my hands
dirty.
dirty." You know?
Mm-hmm.
But
Come on,
he
it's hot.
was a real go-getter
Okay.
for no education. I mean, and then he was a foreman at General Electric in New York Park in Cleveland.
Oh,
And so he really was on the block.
Come on.
But
Okay.
Can we
they
continue?
We're gonna cut now,
All
okay?
right,
We'll
cut.
come back.
Simple as that.
What's her name?
Bill. And
Their name was Belle.
to give you a little background
Her
on
first
this,
name?
Yeah, thank you, Dad.
there was Ermini, Grace, Fan,
And
Nell,
Nell.
Alta,
And Nell.
and my mother. And their father was the mayor the first mayor of West Cleveland. That was before it was annexed to Cleveland. And he was the first mayor of West Cleveland.
What was their, what was,
And-
what was their name? Their last
Bell.
name? Bell was their...
B-E-L-L.
Okay.
And they came from New England, I think in the state of Maine, Bangor, Maine, if I remember right. It was either Bangor or one of those little towns around there. And they came to Ohio, and their father got involved in buying up old properties and renovating them and then selling them. And he owned about maybe 20, 30 pieces of property that he was renting out or renovating or whatever. So my aunts inherited quite a little bit of revenue from their grandfather, who was the first mayor of West Cleveland. And that was in the 1800s and something. And what else could I add? Anyhow, this table, I think it came from Vermont, if I remember right. Montpelier, Vermont.
Hmm.
I know they have marble there. My recollection is all right. That's where it came from. Three of my aunts taught school, grammar grade school, and
They never married.
none of them ever married.
Your mother was the only
My
one.
mother was the only one that married out of the 5 sisters.
And your mother's first name was?
Helen.
Helen.
Helen Shaw. And then the Shaw name, the reason she was called Shaw was back in history too. Back to the Civil War or something that place that I can't remember.
That was her middle name?
Helen Shaw. Helen Shaw Bell.
It was Bell with an E on the end, or
No,
just
just
B-E-L-L?
B-E-L-L. And her brother was a doctor in West Cleveland. I can't think of his name, his first name.
That was a big family then. 6 children? 5 girls?
They owned, I guess they were pretty well fixed.
About,
the
um,
Dupper,
Yeah, a little bit about.
I'll be glad to try.
We
Well,
lived,
we like it
we
better.
lived in Cleveland, and my father wanted to know if I wanted to go down and visit with his father and mother, who came from Stuttgart, Germany. And he said that was the old Dupper homestead, which comprised of about 100 acres, if I can remember right. And they had a whole lot of animals, and I was enthralled because at that time, I had never ridden on a horse or saw pigs and chickens and cows and all these other things that are on a farm, and all the things that they grew on a farm. And my father said, yes, this is the old homestead. And he said, I never got any schooling because as soon as I was old enough, which was 6 years old, they put me to work right away all day long in the fields, you know, to harvest the stuff or plant the stuff or cultivate it or pick it or whatever. There was always something to do. So he had no time for schooling. That's why he never went to school.
Mhm.
That's what he told me.
Where was this Dupper homestead?
It was in
David, can I walk by?
Yes.
It was right outside of Malvern, Ohio, which is about 40 miles southeast of Canton.
Is it still there?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Have you been back?
Yes.
I think George took us.
I
didn't
think
he?
George took us by there. There's Canal Dover, and then there's Malvern. But it's an old Dutch country. I mean, old German, Dutch, or whatever. And there's not a lot of what do they call these people that have these
Amish?
Amish. There's a
Mhm.
lot of them. But they're good farmers, very good farmers. And I often thought that who needs all these harassment and trying to get this way or that way?
It's raining.
As long as you're happy and have enough to eat and all that, you know. And when you're on a farm where you have everything, you don't have to depend on anybody for anything. You're self-sufficient. In other words, you really are.
These were your grandparents then?
That was my, on my father's side.
Okay.
You remember your great-grandfather then, huh?
Oh, well, I remember he had a long...
I never
I
had a
only saw him that
great-grandfather.
one time, and he had a
Grandfather or
long
great
gray
grand?
beard. But I told you about my other grandfather, that Bell, and then there's the Duppers, the Bells and the Duppers,
Mhm.
My mother's people, my father's people. Okay?
That's good. It's interesting.
Well,
And if you don't want to use this right away, you can freeze it.
Okay. Would you visit them often then? Your
no,
grandfather?
no. Well, see,
Did they have other children besides your father?
yeah, there was Hattie. Oh, she used to cut bread like this. She know that I can always remember this.
That wasn't Hattie.
That was too Hattie.
That was your father's brother's wife.
Well, her name, no, that was, yeah, what was her name? Charlie. His name was Charlie.
Right.
Yeah, I can remember her. She had great big, and I can remember
Zumbas.
when I was a young guy, and here she is with this great big knife in the bread there, and she was whipping right across a slice of bread like that. And oh my God, I thought she was going to take one arm right off. And that always amused me. I'll never forget that. And her husband, Charlie Dupper, was he repaired organs or pianos and stuff like that in the movie houses at that time, But nobody had TV or all movie houses, and they had organs and pianos for background music, And he got drunk and fell in the pit. Excuse me, and she was laughing like crazy. And here, I could, just as like it was yesterday. I could see her whipping that knife, and I thought, oh my God, a half an inch more, and wham!
That'd be all she wrote.
Yeah, right.
That's funny.
But it's funny how things come back to you so
Merle and Harold both.
Yeah, Merle and Harold.
These were your father's brothers.
Yeah, they were yeah, right. Merle and Harold were in the Ringling Brothers before they became associated with Barnum and Bailey. This is before that.
What year?
They were in Ringling Brothers, and I think that was the year that Bill Cody, they called him Buffalo Bill Cody.
Uh-huh.
He brought his circus in with Ringling Brothers in Erie, Pennsylvania, and here were these two guys, Duppers, he said, yeah, they're performers, they're acrobats, and they did all kinds of gymnastics, flying through the air with the greatest of ease, and I can still see that. And the best guy was Merle, and then Harold he was a younger guy, and he tried to, but Merle was really great. He could do the tightrope.
And who were they to you?
That was,
Your uncles.
yeah.
Your great uncle.
Yeah, your great uncles. But they were in Ringling Brothers Circus years and years ago with Buffalo Bill. You heard of Buffalo Bill Cody?
Yeah.
Buffalo Bill in the Wild West. And my father.
Weren't they your father's brother's children?
Right. So I was
They were
there.
they were your cousins then? Or
Your nephews.
I don't know. But anyhow, they were Duppers.
They were his father's
Nephews.
But
They were
anyhow,
his nephews.
They were
They're
cousins.
cousins.
They
but there's one other thing I want to mention.
We're running out of tape, so.
The United States government auctioned off a lot of Indian reservation land out in Oklahoma. And my father went out there and bought a whole bunch of land, for almost nothing. And I don't know whatever he did with it. Because they were getting a lot of oil out of that area, But I think he said you had a homestead for a short length of time to get it for nothing. I don't know whether he ever did that or not. Yes, he worked on the streetcars. This must have been in 1900, early 1900s, like 1903 or 4. And the streetcars at that time just had like running boards on either side. And he'd go around and collect the fares. care was going along. And then after that, he went to work for a railroad as a brakeman, and he almost got killed there somewhere.
Well, how?
Oh, boy, I hope the lights don't go off.
And then I wasn't real close to him, but he had a pretty varied life. I guess he had to have because he didn't have any education.
How much education did he have?
None.
None?
He didn't even go to first grade. So then he went to work as a foreman of General Electric at Neela Park, Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And he had about 20, 25 people under him. He was very well versed in electrical things and with his hand.
You got to tell Dave you were named after your uncle, Everett.
Yeah, Everett. He was the doctor, Everett Bell. And he had a wife that was a dope addict, I guess, and she only married him because she
married him to get the dope.
Well, who's telling this? You? You want to tell? I think the only reason she married him was because he could prescribe the dope for her. And anyhow, that was a shady side of our family. I guess everybody has little things in the attic.
Mm-hmm.
Or someplace. I guess those were kind of the highlights of...
Well, what jobs have you had?
well, let me think. I sold papers on the corner of Cleveland. You made a half a cent on a paper, and if a guy was bigger and stronger than you, you got kicked off of the corner. And
How old were you then?
I don't remember, probably 7, 8. Then I used to sell baseball extras. That was before the advent of radio or TV, where you only got baseball. When the baseball games were over, they'd always have a baseball extra. So you'd go up and down the street, hey, baseball extra, and you'd go up and down the streets in the neighborhood. And read all about it. You always, even though there's no news, you'd always say, read all about it. And say, well, read all about what? Well, anything. Go ahead. And then, that was when I was real young. And we went to live in Ashtabula County, which was Jefferson, Ohio. That was the county seat. And I took agriculture at school. And they had we lived right behind the Ashtabula County Fairgrounds. And I grew the biggest pumpkin that weighed, I think it weighed 64 pounds, a pumpkin. And I had to haul that thing in my wagon at the county fairgrounds, and I got a blue ribbon for it.
Oh, yeah? You remember that?
Uh-huh.
How old were you?
Oh, golly, I was probably about... Oh, maybe I was in high school. I think I was in high school. I must have been to take agriculture. And then I raised beans in connection with agriculture. To get the bees out of to get the honey, you'd always have to take one of these blower things to get the bees out of there so you could reach in and get the honeycomb out. And then we lived on a farm that had about 100 apple trees, and my father, we couldn't eat all the apples, so we made apple cider. And then he made apple butter out of that in big earthen jugs. Then we go into Ashtabula and sell the apple butter. And we'd sell eggs and chickens and all kinds of stuff off the car. And that was when I was maybe, let's see, I was a freshman in high school, so I must have been about 14 years old. Then we, my father decided to move back to Cleveland, so we did that. And then I had to get a job back there again, and I remember working for a rubber plant, and the fumes were terrible. You know how bad rubber smells when it's burning. And then I went to work for the, I couldn't stand that smell anymore, so I went to work for Old Chandler Motor Company and the salvage department, which we had to salvage the good from the bad. And then from there, Old Cleveland Motor, which is a little ways away from there, and I don't remember what I did there. But then after that, I got a job as an office boy with Willard Storage Battery Company, and they're still in business today.
Wow.
Willard on Taft Road.
Where?
On Taft Avenue in Cleveland, Ohio. Old Willard Storage, and I was an office boy. I used to take memos from here to there, bang, 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 bang.
And how old were you then?
I was probably maybe 16. 16, I think. And then I got acquainted with a guy by the name of Harry Wilson. And he and I had a lot in common, and we used to just mess around, you know, together. And he said, George, you're wasting your time. He said, let me get you a good job. I said, what do you mean? He says, well, I'll tell you what. He said, would you like to go out on the road? I said, no, not really. He said, well, that's where the money is. He said, you can't make it here in Cleveland. I said, okay, what do you got in mind? And then he tells me about a job with this National Surety Corporation, and I think I was about, before that, I'll have to tell you about an experience I had. I went to work for this automobile finance company, and some guy took a car from Cleveland to Chicago, which was unlawful. You can't remove mortgage property for the county in which it was originated without permission. He didn't get permission. And here it was one of old Al Capone's men that had this car. So I'm the kid in the office, and nobody, you know, wanted to mess around with these guys. They were bad guys. He said, hey, Dupper, the guy in charge there, he says, I want you to go up to Chicago and repossess this car. I said, okay, you know, like a kid, what the hell, you do what you're told. So there was no planes then, so I took a train from here, from Cleveland to Chicago, and got off at the station, the railroad station there. There was a big black limousines waiting outside this railroad station. Hey, come on, we want some action, you know? And here they were all taking you to one of these gambling places or houses of prostitution. They all wanted to take you someplace, you know? So I finally said, well, what the heck, if I can get a ride to where I had to go with Cicero, which is a suburb of Chicago, and I didn't have a whole lot of money, so I said, all right, why not? And he said, I'll take you to Cicero, the guy said. So I go to Cicero, and he says, come on. So I go in this place where he took me, and there's about 50 women sitting all around this room. And he said, which one do you want? And I was thinking as a kid, I said, anybody that walks in here with $1 can have any one of these rooms, so I don't want any of them. You know, I just went through my mind like that. I said, thanks, but no thanks, so I went out. So when I got out of that place, I said, where's this place in Cicero? He says, oh, yeah, that's a well-known nightclub. He says, I'll take you right over there. The guy that was talking to me, he said, yeah, come on. So I get over there, and the guy comes to the door, and I said, Mr. So-and-so. He says, what do you want? I said, I came here to get your car. He says, what? He says, what do you want? I said, I came to get your car. I mean, I was honest with the guy. I didn't mess around.
Was he one of Capone's guys?
Yeah, one of Al Capone's henchmen, and he had a machine gun and everything.
You're kidding. He came to the door with a machine gun?
Yeah. This is one of the bad things. And then he said, well, come on in. He says, you're a fresh-faced kid. He says, did you eat lately? I said, well, I have kids always hungry. He says, come on. So he gives me lots of food, spaghetti and wine and everything. He says, have you ever been around Chicago? I said, no. He says, I'll take you around. I'll show you all the sights. I said, okay, what have I got to do? So I go around with him, and he said, you're a nice kid. You're a nice kid.
He said, you're a nice kid?
Yeah, he said, he stuck a $20 bill in my hand. He said, here, and he gives me the keys to the car. He said, if one of you guys would have come up here and said, hey, I'm going to take your car, you know, with a strong arm, he would have never given it to him. But he said, Eli, he says, I like you. He said, take the car, come on. and he gives me $20. And I go
funny.
back to the office, they couldn't believe I was back in one piece, you know?
That's funny.
No, it's really funny.
That's great.
No, really funny.
So did you ever meet Al Capone?
I never met him, no. Never met him. But this guy was so, you know, I can say this a million times. There's a little bit of good in everybody. There's a little bit of good in the worst of us, and there's a little bit of bad in the best of us.
I agree.
You know, it's repeat and repeat that.
You found that in your life.
Oh, yeah. Nobody's entirely good and nobody's entirely
That way you don't
bad.
have to worry about returning.
So, anyhow, I think that's the end of the, you know,
What are other we have a few more minutes on this tape. What other philosophies do you have about life?
I can't,
Has anything, like have you learned things that you feel are lessons that have helped you get through life?
Oh,
Things that have
yeah.
helped you? What?
Yeah.
What has helped you?
I think I was brought up to think that I was pretty great, you know, I could do no wrong, and I learned that real fast by having to help you out a few times. And that was a big lesson. And to respect other people's viewpoints. In other words, as old as I am, I still don't have real definite, unpersuaded. Nobody. Some people are so adamant in their views that they can't be persuaded one way or the other. I think I can do that, and I think that's what came from being around like I had to.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a guy that's been a bookkeeper all of his life, or whatever he's been all his life, but I've had such a varied amount of things to do. That some of them were interesting, some of them were not. But it was such a variety of things that you're bound to learn, you know, that you can't learn by just being the president of a company or a machinist or whatever, you know, all your life.
You've met a lot of different kinds of people.
Oh, very, yes. And
Great.
I think that makes a difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm
All
gonna
true?
fade you to black here. So long.